Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Carl, and welcome to Empower Multimedia. This is a channel that talks about how to get the most out of college, as well as helping young adults understand entrepreneurship so maybe one day they become their own boss. Now, on this video, we're going to talk about branding. Some of you may wonder, what is branding? Well, let's start off by telling you what branding isn't. Some people say, branding isn't a logo. The answer is no. A logo is simply a symbol that represents a company. For example, Nike's logo is a check mark. Disney has Mickey Mouse. McDonald's has a yellow M that represents McDonald's. A logo basically shows you, it's another identifier for a company. So if you see the logo, you think about, oh, okay, that's that company, that's that company. So another misconception is some people think that branding is a product, right? So let's say, for example, the iPhone. Is an iPhone a brand? That answer is no. Apple is a company that makes the iPhone. The iPhone itself is not their brand. It's just the product or the service that they offer, right? So now, don't get it twisted. A product can help create a brand depending on the value, the quality. It can help build your brand, but a product itself is simply not a brand. Now, I'm curious. A logo is not a brand, a product's not a brand. Let's see what Google says what a brand is. So when you type in on Google, a brand, it says that a type of product manufactured by a particular company under a particular name, right? So now let's see what they say branding is. Now, when you look on Google, it says branding is the promotion of a particular product or company by means of advertising and distinctive design. Me personally, I don't agree with either of those definitions of what branding is, a brand or branding is, right? And this is coming from someone with, that understands entrepreneurship and has a background in marketing or running their own social media agency, right? What you need to understand as well is just because it says on the internet, it does not 100% mean it's correct. One thing about me is I don't just take things as is. I usually question things and then I decide for myself, do I agree with this? My professor who taught an entrepreneurship class during my master's, he basically stated the same sentiment, like, hey, just because I'm teaching you this and I'm the teacher, it doesn't always mean I'm 100% right. I actually welcome my thoughts and what I believe is true to be challenged. Not to say to, insult the teacher, but like question why they're saying what they're saying. It's okay to disagree, as long as you can articulate why you disagree and it makes logical sense. I just, went on about like why I don't think Google's definition of branding makes sense. So what is my definition of branding? In my opinion, branding is what you're perceived as. It's your reputation. You need to understand that everyone's reputation or everyone's perception of you may not be exactly the same, but as long as they're in the general realm, then it's pretty good idea of like what you're branded as or what your company is branded as. What you need to understand is not only companies have brands, you and I have brands. Some people might say like, oh, that's Kelly, she's a long jumper and she's going to go D1 for college. That's Mark, he's about to sign to minors right out of high school, right? Some other people, might have the brand like, hey, they're very smart and intelligent. They're very intellectual. They might go into the Ivies, like, that just like what people perceive you as when your name is brought up. That's like your own personal brand. Now, there's a double-edged sword in 2020 in regards to branding, especially with companies. Through social media can either uplift the brand or destroy a brand. That's why it's so important when you have team members, you need to audit and make sure they're not going to say anything or do any actions that will make your company look bad. I see it all the time on Twitter. People compare the difference between customer service at Chick-fil-A and customer service at things like Popeyes for whatever reason. And I really don't know where it came from, but Chick-fil-A is branded as like, hey, in terms of customer service, they're top notch. They go above and beyond for everybody. And places like Popeyes get branded as like they'll even throw you your bag. Yeah, they'll even throw you your meal and tell you, see you later. It's what you're perceived as, right? And sometimes what you perceive that may not be that accurate. And it's your responsibility to make sure you're perceived like you want to be. So now we're getting to how to build a brand, right? Some people may want to know, okay, so how do I build a brand? Check out the video about how to build a brand. The video will be located above or in the description. Thank you.